Alright, so check this out. Here's a little comparison here. This Derpy plush is a 52-inch made by Calusari. I'd say there definitely is some similarities between the QTPony plush and the Derpy plush, the Calusari. I noticed some similarities, but also some differences. Derpy doesn't have the 3D eyelashes, and this one also has the socks, but I eventually would like to get some socks for Rainbow Dash. I'd say definitely the softness of the faux hair is very, very similar to the Derpy one. As far as size, obviously the Rainbow Dash is a little bit bigger, being 56-inch, so it's scaled up a little bit more. But I do say there are some similarities that I've noticed. Say maybe like the seam right here is kind of similar to the Derpy plush, maybe like right here. Kind of use a similar type of deal. This one obviously has a bow. Kind of got like a little line going on right here, and same with right here. Just maybe a little bit different orientation, but it's kind of a similar concept. As far as the wings go, this one is just one piece with embroidery, while this one obviously has multi-pieces that are put together. There's also a difference in the hoof embroidery. You can see on the Derpy plush, it actually has like the 3D hooves, and got this part of the embroidery right here. On this Rainbow Dash, mainly just the embroidery. It doesn't have the 3D hoof effect, but I'd say they're definitely both high quality plushies. I'd say they're both on the same level as far as quality of craftsmanship. Definitely both very, very well done, and the expression on both, you know, they're just really amazing and very, very well made. Alright, so I got them both on their side here. I was just kind of comparing some of the seams and just like the overall pattern design, and I do say there is quite a few similarities with these two plush. I was looking at like the seam right here. It's actually pretty similar to the Derpy plush here. It kind of got the same type of seam going on here, just to get the shape right. And then also on the head, you can see here, you got this seam here, and then this goes all the way and around back by the ears. And the Derpy plush pretty much has the same type of seam going behind the ears, and then got this part right here to get the shape. I was looking at like the leg here. This is all kind of like one piece right here, or at least this part is. And on the Derpy plush right here, you can see there's a seam right here, so the leg is definitely a separate piece that goes on. You can see right in there. That's a difference there. Just kind of looking at the hair right here, the way the part is right here. On the Derpy plush, you can see it's kind of like right here. Like this is one section, and then this is another piece right here. And then you can see this one is just sewn pretty much just down the middle. Basically like a horse's mane would actually be just down the middle. So this one could flop either way because it's just sewn in the middle. Then you got the Rainbow Dash plush here, so it's got the part right here. This is actually like a little part down in here where you can actually kind of see You kind of actually feel down in there, and then it's sewn right here. So this one, yeah, it's just mainly on this side that you could do it with. This I just kind of put on here, and you got the seam right here where it's sewn. So it's just meant to be on one side, the main, versus Derpy, where she could have the main on both sides, whichever you want. But the way this faux hair feels is, I feels exactly the same. I don't really feel any difference really. Both very, very high quality. And then the way the pile is here feels very, very similar, like right here too. Yeah, it's pretty much similar texture and feel. Very, very high quality stuff. That's another similarity, somewhat similarity, or difference rather, would be in the ears. I guess looking at it, you kind of see that kind of a front view profile. With the Derpy, it's actually pretty similar. Obviously with the Derpy plush is a little bit different because you look at the ear. This has the 3D style ear, where this has like this inner or outer ring, I guess you could say, for the 3D effect, where on the Rainbow Dash it would just be just on this edge right here, but then this part is just flat right here. So it's just a difference right there. But I do love the ears, and that little extra embroidery detail is very, very nice. Very nice touch. Another difference is definitely in the neck. If you look at the neck on the Derpy plush, you can see just how big it is there. So it's decently sized, but I wouldn't say it's like the biggest neck. But look at the Rainbow Dash plush, and yeah, the neck is definitely a lot bigger. So that's another difference, is the size of the neck, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely pretty big. So I just wanted to look at the side profile of the plush here. So if you look at the Rainbow Dash plush here, you kind of see the, like, prop her up a little bit. Yeah, the side profile looks pretty good. And then the front view as well. So you kind of got the seam right down the middle there. I'd say the Derpy plush definitely is somewhat similar. I'd say the head's a little more narrow, and then if you look, the profile's a little more pointed by the nose, and then front facing, yeah, kind of has a similar part where the seam is on the nose bridge. But I'd say the head's a little more narrow on the Derpy plush, where on the Rainbow Dash it's a little bit more full, like a little bit wider. But they both look good, and both yeah, have like similar embroidery right here underneath the eye. So that looks really good. Difference is, yeah, you got the minky part right here for the eyelid. On the Derpy plush, it's just embroidery. I'd say they're very, very similar plush. See a lot of similarities. Again, both in craftsmanship, the way it's made, and it almost feels like definitely like two of the same quality plush, just made from two different makers in two entirely different places of the world. Derpy is from Poland, and then Rainbow Dash is from the United States. So definitely, I'd say looking at these plushies from this angle, I'd say they're both about the same width. I would say where the thighs are. I'd say the Rainbow Dash plush in the middle is a little bit wider compared to the Derpy plush. Definitely, since Derpy is not as wide in the middle area, but the same width towards the back, definitely gives her a very unique look, more defined look, I would say, than the Rainbow Dash plush. Rainbow Dash is more like even, I would say. But definitely, I'd say there is no doubt that these two are the best plush that I have in my collection. They're both really amazing, and again, both very thankful to have them. And somehow I'd like to bring both of these to a convention sometime in the future. So these two plush definitely, as you can see, pretty much take up the whole bed, just these two. But anyways, they are amazing, and being able to have something like this when we live in a mass-produced world where everything is just thrown together real fast, having these two plush, which were made with a lot of time and care and effort, definitely is really nice. And being able to have these plush means a lot to me. I do appreciate really good craftsmanship. Definitely a lot of work was put into these two plush, and I know I'll definitely have them around for quite some time.